now. Good morning, good day, wherever you are. We hope you're having a great one. I'm Rick Zanotti, and today we're joined by, well, you know her as Gina Schreck. And today, she's Gina Schreck with a little bit of makeup on.
A little bit
Different
of makeup.
kind of makeup. Hey, Gina, how are you?
Morning, good. Many of you have already seen the tragic picture, so I'll go ahead and show you. This is, with a lot of concealer. Had a little ski accident over Thanksgiving, but all is well. We think. So, I'm starting to think that I like the black eye look. It's a tough look that I'm trying to pull off, and Dawn was saying, I think I can just, maybe I should just go around wearing boxing gloves and look like I was in a fight or something.
Yeah,
but,
either that or we can call it zombie vidcast.
Yeah. It is very swollen and green right now on my cheek.
Definitely, go get that checked out.
I know, I do think
because that's twice in a row. You want to make sure you didn't damage anything else.
Same eye.
Yep.
Same bat channel, same bat time. But I'm back and I'm ready to go, and a little extra concealer and I'm all good. But I'm excited because we loved the episode when we had Mama Gigi, Georgia McCabe, on. And
in fact, do you hear that you hear that music in the background?
Oh, you're doing it again.
Georgia. I don't hear it.
You don't hear it?
Oh, there we go. It's very faint.
Yeah, we just have it faint. Otherwise, we couldn't hear ourselves.
On my mind. Yes, welcome back, Georgia.
Thanks, Gina.
Hey, Georgia.
Glad to be back.
We had too much to talk about last time, and we said we need to just have you back on.
Aww.
Chat it up.
I'm
You and I were
excited and
talking.
appreciative.
You've got lots of fun stuff to share, and the work that you do with other companies, and you work a lot with photographers and speakers and authors, and what other types of businesses do you help with social media?
Let's see. I do a lot, like we said, with photographers and phototype companies. And then most recently, I started getting very involved with a lot of authors. And I also have a couple of national brands, one which is a major skincare company, another which is one that sells all kinds of home decorating goods, and another energy shot company. So, been pretty busy.
Very fun. Yeah, that keeps you busy. And there's no day off. That's what I realized. There's no holidays when you're managing social media. You've got to make sure stuff is scheduled and monitored 24/7.
Yeah, and have you guys noticed that Twitter is becoming very unfriendly to a lot of different Twitter clients?
What do you mean?
What do you say some more?
They seem to have not allowed a lot of clients to work well again, and there's a lot of limitations. I tried a new one yesterday. It was Twitter something or other, and that one, after about 10 minutes of being on it, said, "You've exceeded your Twitter limit," and it just knocked me off. It said, "Come back in an hour." TweetDeck said, "You're not following anyone." I go, wait a minute. The Twitter client wasn't working. They're doing something where they're limiting the clients, and I heard it may be because of advertising. The clients don't do advertising, so
they did remove a lot of the API.
Yeah, the API calls, but that's really becoming a pain.
But I don't know that doesn't sound like I don't know what that issue is, because that's odd that it would say you're not following anyone or that you've hit a limit. I mean, Rick, for you to hit a limit would be shocking.
I'm on Twitter quite a bit.
Yeah, but you don't tweet like 40, 50 times a day, do you?
No, probably 10 or 15.
See, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're not
Hey, have you
giving
guys
you the
checked out
time.
Rebel Mouse?
Which one?
Rebel Mouse.
Rebel Mouse. What's that one?
I have. I really like that, and I haven't spent a lot of time. I set up an account, Rebel Mouse, and it kind of is a aggregator of all your social sites.
It's like a Pinterest. It's like a Pinterest for your social sites. So I'm going to give it a whirl. Every day I'm giving something else a new whirl. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I spent.
So it's called Rebel Mouse.
Yeah,
Rebel Mouse. Yeah, it was announced, I think, like October. And wasn't it the co-founder of Huffington Post launched it? And so they got a lot of the techies joining it, like Robert Scoble and others. And so, yeah, it's the hottest new thing. So
because I was listening to a book by, I think it was Chris Brogan, one of his books on Audible, and he talked about Rebel Mouse. And so I thought, let me go check it out and see. And I set up an account, and I really liked the look of it. It was cool. I haven't done a whole lot with it though. But you said you're still using it, or did you just do like I did?
Just started playing with it, Gina. Just started playing with it. You know, it's like this last month I've started playing with a couple of new things. One is called Spreaker. Spreaker, and it's kind of like an online radio show.
I've heard of Spreaker. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, I still got to learn a little bit more about it. And Rebel Mouse, and then the other one, oh my gosh, it just escaped me. But is it Screencast? Oh, shoot, Gina, I told you about it when we talked about a month ago. Anyways, it's Spreecast.
Oh, Spreecast is pretty cool.
Yeah. So the SPREECAST.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, okay, let's go back.
I spend all day just researching all these things.
What are you finding? Is it kind of in place of something like Hootsuite or TweetDeck?
Oh, Spreecast? No, Spreecast.
Rebel Mouse.
Rebel Mouse? It's kind of a combo, the way I'm looking at it, and I haven't played with it a lot to really have a judgment on it, and I think there's more than meets the eye, but to me, it's just kind of this aggregator, and it kind of shows everything that's going on socially, so I'm not bouncing all over the place, So on your tweets, you can see your tweets, you can see your retweets, you can see your mentions, you can see your Facebook, Google+, blah, blah. Right. So, more to say on that. We should probably do a show on it.
Yeah, because it is interesting because, we use Hootsuite for that reason, because you can do all those sites on there. And I have been pulling my hair out because we've had weird things happen, like scheduling a whole week of content out. We just had one of our community managers say yesterday, she scheduled a whole week of content for one of our clients. She went and one day noticed nothing dropped on their page. So she went back in and looked, the whole week was gone. I was
I've had the same problem.
And I went, okay, so I filed a...
Yeah, you're not alone. We've had the same problem. I do a whole week of tweets for certain things. Everyone was gone. And I went, wait a minute, did I not save it?
I know, you're going, okay, am I losing it? Did I not?
No, we've had that too. And, I used to use a system, Guy Kawasaki used to promote it. Oh, what the heck? It was bought out by some email company. And I really liked it. It'll come to me in a minute what it was. But it was just, what was that?
Buffer?
No, not Buffer. It started with an O. Oh, my gosh.
Asphora.
Asphora?
No, it'll come to me in a minute. But it was so unreliable. I mean, it was really cool. You could do bulk uploads, you could really schedule in advance a lot of the things that Hootsuite and others came up with later on. But it was so unreliable that my community managers, I'm sitting there yelling at them because, what's going on, that they're not going out. And it was ineffective. So, I've also seen that with Facebook when we do when we do pre-scheduling on Facebook. So, no matter how often you have people do that ahead of time, you still got to go in and check.
Right. You do have to check every day on your, you have to be present every day on your sites just to make sure everything's posting okay, and you can't just rely on Hootsuite or whatever tool you're using. I have to give a shout out to a guy I just discovered because I read his blog post and really liked it. His name is Steve. Actually, it's Steve Martin, so I thought that was pretty funny. But he has a company called Copper Fox Marketing, and it sounds like he does what we do. And Steve over at Copper Fox wrote this blog post about 5 tools that he really liked. And his number one tool he liked, obviously, was Hootsuite. But then he mentioned 2 others that I had never heard of. One was called Cloze, Cloze, and it looks really cool. Now, I just set up my account. I went in and set it up, but it has some really cool features as far as how it's aggregating all your content, and supposedly it's pulling things like when it gives kind of really cool information on you could pull clients. So I can say, I really want to watch specific clients. You know what? I think I'm getting confused. Close and the other one's called mention. Close is like cred and what's the other one? Clout.
Right. I haven't heard of it. I use a tool for all my clients called Social Report, and so what I do is I create a dashboard, and it's really great. So what it does is, at any point in time, it eliminated me every month having to write this extensive report showing what the activity has been, but
Right.
they can go in and they can check the demographics, and it is so cool. With the one client, the skincare client, we can actually see the level of activity that's coming in across the United States. They primarily sell in the U.S. and Canada. And I'm like, okay, well, what happened up in Chicago? Oh, well, we just ran this, big event at this one department store. But they can go in at any point in time, see all the tweets, all the mentions, all the retweets, all the demographics, where their largest audience is coming from. It's so cool. But the coolest thing about it, Gina, is that you can actually set up a tweet and tie that. You get a little snippet of code that you can put on your website.
Right.
And so let's just use an example with this big hurricane that happened up here in the Northeast. And let's say you were selling snow blowers or something, or not snow blowers, generators.
Right.
Get your generator now, and then you can put that URL link, and it'll tie back to the actual shopping cart, and then tell you the effectiveness of that tweet. And we're all trying to figure out, all our customers want to say, what's the ROI? What's the ROI, right? So It's really cool. It's called Social Report, and I just create custom dashboards. They can go in at any point in time, and they can give the greatest stats in terms of what's happening.
I get all of that through Hootsuite. Do you not? You're paying for Hootsuite, aren't you?
Yep, and through Hootsuite.
Yes.
But I love this because of the visual nature of it.
It's different.
And
it looks different.
Now,
maybe
have you folks seen TweetAdder? That's another one that looks pretty good.
I use TweetAdder too.
But it's not online. It's on a machine. It's on one of your servers or workstations. But it seems to have a lot of power, a lot of analytics, and they have some interesting features that aren't in Hootsuite.
That is interesting because I keep looking at that going, I'm paying a lot of money every month for Hootsuite and for the reports. The reports are not cheap. So, every month I'm paying $300 for reports to have these put together.
Gina, this is much cheaper. This is like a lot. It's like a third of that. And you can set up custom dashboards.
Yeah, that's interesting. I need to check that out. Yeah, these two new tools, I was really interested in. The one that's called Mention, and it's not mention.com, it's EN. So what would that be? Is that from another country? en.mention.net.
Haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, and it's it's kind of this company dashboard, but it also gives you information on your competitors and across the internet. So similar to like a Google alert, but this is pulling in more information, and you can set up specific targets that you want to watch. And so I can go in there, and so does Cloze, CLOZE.com. That one I can say, I want to target these 25 people. Maybe they're clients I'm trying to get into, and it will pull in their Facebook, Twitter, any interaction I've had with them via email. It kind of pulls it into a dashboard, which is interesting because it looks a lot like what HubSpot does.
Right.
HubSpot, the back end, when you have that on your website, does similar things. And we're getting ready to launch a whole new site using HubSpot in January. And so I've been looking at all these tools going, okay, I'm shelling out lots of money on all these things. I hope that I've got the right tool in place. But, finding the right data that can help you do your job better, I think is so important. And
I have to tell you, this week, I do like you do. Every time I see something, I'll sign up, I'll try it out, and then I forget that I put it on my credit card.
Oh,
so I looked at my American Express, and I'm like, whoa, what the heck is going on? So I went in and I, decided, after I tested some of these out, that I wanted to cancel. Trying to cancel some of these subscriptions.
Oh, they're hard.
It's impossible.
It's hard.
Impossible.
I had the opposite issue this weekend. My major business card, the main one I use for subscriptions, had fraud on it.
fraud. Oh.
So now I've got to remember, who did I subscribe to?
Yeah.
And get them recharged, because there were already 2 of them had bounced. And I went, oh, geez.
Well, that's the way to find out. They'll always contact you saying your credit card.
I know. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
they give you some grace period, because some of it's databases that we have online, and it's like, oh,
yeah.
no, not now.
Not good.
It was so frustrating, though. I'm like, I have a list right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them I canceled.
Nice.
And it's like, send an email. So I send an email. No, call them up. Call them up. It's like, just stop, would you please? So,
because usually that's my exit. If I need to put a credit card for it, I usually go, I'm not going to do it. I like you, we're testing so many different products and sites and things, just always looking for which one works for each of our clients. And I'm going, you know what, I'm already paying for a couple big ones that I know do a lot of it, but I'm always looking for something else that, like you said, the visual part of it might be better, or something else might do something you're looking for. And so that's always, and one thing I'm always in search of is the apps to run contests. And to me, that's still the most frustrating thing, is running contests for clients. And, right now we use Wildfire, the app that was through Facebook, but it was bought by Google.
Right?
It still runs on Facebook for contests. But do you use any of those type of apps for contests?
I've used them all, Gina. I used, in the beginning, I was like you, I used Wildfire a lot, and I loved it. And I think the reason I loved it was I loved the analytics, which at that time, when I started, a lot of the other sites didn't have that.
Right.
But, it's very expensive for some of the clients. So we used to run, for one of my photography clients, we would do a contest. We'd start it on Friday, and we'd say, upload your best shot that you took this week, and you'll be featured as our photographer of the week, kind of playing off the Oreo happy birthday theme.
Sure.
And then so we'd run it from Thursday to Sunday, and then whoever got the most votes, the winner, they'd be featured on the timeline, and then they'd also get a prize. I think it was costing us around, $40 each week. So it was very effective. We got a lot of engagement. But then I decided, I really wanted to look at some other tools. So then I entered into OfferPop. And OfferPop has some really cool things. I've used a lot of their capabilities. In fact, right now for one of my clients, we're doing what we call a tug-of-war contest. So we're featuring a product against a product and asking our clients, to vote for which one they like better. And so then we have a showdown. So we start with, 2, and then the winner goes to the next, and the winner goes to the next. And then depending on how many people have entered, we randomly then pick a winner, and they get a prize. I've done that with a number of different clients. I also used OfferPop a lot for conventions, because they have the ability not only with Facebook but also to do some pretty cool Twitter type contests. So we use that to tweet this out, and visit us at booth 105, and you enter your chance to win $600 worth of prizes. So OfferPop, if you go there, offerpop.com, you can either do a monthly subscription, or you can actually pay by the campaign itself.
And how does it compare price-wise to Wildfire?
A little less expensive, and I don't know, I haven't checked recently because I do have a subscription with them, but at one point, if you had under 500 fans, it was free.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty cool. So, a nice way to get people in.
Yeah.
So, and they have everything from, they really have a whole suite, whether it's the tug of war, whether it's the referral type, get as many people to enter. But again, it's a fee-based offering. Now, last year, I came upon another one, Colorado company called Rafflecopter. RAFFLE Copter, COPTER. And I absolutely love it. A, because it's so easy to set up. B, it was free. And so the idea that we had for using this application was we had a number of companies that we wanted to work together. So it was for a big event that was happening in February. It was called the Wedding and Portrait Photographers Convention, WPPI. And we got 7 different companies to participate. And so what we did was, with Rafflecopter, you can go in and you can say, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, leave a comment. You can actually have like an open-ended type thing that you want people to do. Leave a comment on our blog or watch this video and leave a comment. And then you get points for it. And then, again, it's more of a sweepstakes thing where you can randomly pick it. So what we did was we created one for each of the 7 participants of the companies that participated. And then each company donated an offering. So our prize package was like close to $5,000.
Oh, wow.
And so to enter, they also had to give the email. Well, we had over 23,000 entries. But the beautiful thing about it was, everybody was promoting each other's. So like the people that were on, let's say, my client, H&H Color, not only did they have to like H&H Color, they had to like Marathon Press, they had to like Katori Jewelry, they had to like, I think, who else did we have?
So to be considered to win, they had to go and like the pages.
All the pages. So you had all these pages all promoting to their audience, and so our fan base went up dramatically. They all shared the email list, and it was just really, really effective. So
yeah, and it's interesting because the problem we had with Wildfire, because it's such a big, well-known app through Facebook, I didn't realize when we first started using them that there are professional contest people that just scour Wildfire, and I'm sure they scour all these apps, but they scour Wildfire looking for contests to enter. So they have all these fake accounts they've created, and we learned as these contest people, they go and upload a photo, and then they have all their fake empty accounts go and vote on the photo so that they could win. And so we really had to think through what is the objective. And on Wildfire, I don't even think, unless you pay the white label contest, which is like $1,000 to run a contest, I don't think you were able to say you had to like the page even. I don't know. It was something weird that we ended up going, okay, that we did get a lot of likes on the page, but they were all these strange, I think, empty accounts. Do you know?
Well, Gina, last year we did one for another big association. We had the same situation, and in that case we did use Wildfire, and we had people upload their picture. It was like a word thing where they had to take a picture of the letter A or the letter G or whatever. Right. And we had these people that did the same thing. They had fake accounts. All of a sudden, we're getting emails from these people going, that person, he's not real. How could... It was like incredible.
Oh yeah, so, it gets ugly.
Oh, I went back to Wildfire, and God bless them, I have to say, they actually were able to trace, back to the guy that was in violation, but it caused all this like unbelievable agita and like fighting of who was going to win. I'm like, forget it. I've actually stuck with sweepstakes, Gina. I know the photo ones are really cool. Yeah. I have not had good luck with video contests. I think it's still hard for people to do that.
Yeah.
I've done essay contests, not a lot of people. Sweepstakes seem to be so far the best. And now we're actually trying one too. We just did this month. We did a 12-day of Christmas. And I just got the stats last night from my community manager. And so what we did was every day there was a featured product that they could get 25% off of. And so every day we had a different product. And then anybody that got entered into the overall sweepstakes and would win everything. Well, the prize package was huge. Our client had so much success with it that they ended up having to work overtime. So I'm ecstatic because, dollar-wise, it proved to be a very, very successful campaign. And for that one, we used SchreckTeck. And that SchreckTeck's kind of cool, but it's very geeky. It'd be right up your alley. It can have like CSS programming and stuff. So my designer absolutely loves using it.
Right.
And I only pay like a monthly fee of like $30 no matter how many pages I use SchreckTeck with. Okay. So that was very, very effective.
Have you ever noticed that by the time the month is up with all the subscriptions, you're at about $25,000 a month?
Yeah. That's exactly.
They nickel and dime you up to the point where you go, my God, how did I just spend that much?
Well, absolutely, Rick. Honest to God.
when you're working with clients is really, you have to learn through experience. You learn all these things of going, you really have to build in all these costs of saying, between promoting posts on Facebook, between running ads for them, between contests. I mean, it really does add up. And what we learned is, in these contests, you have to be so specific when you're doing a contest of any sort. Be so specific on who you really want to enter, so that you can put that into the rules ahead of time. Because if you don't, you have kind of the fighting like you experienced, Georgia, of people saying that person's not real. And on some of these apps, they allow you to say round 1 voting will be by the public, and then part 2 voting will be the finalists will be then a winner will be chosen from that by this committee, and you can determine who the committee is, so that you can go through and see who's a real person and who's a fake account. But if you don't know that, I mean, you spend a ton of money and you really end up with a bunch of fake accounts on Facebook and, whatever, Twitter. So, I think it is interesting. It's always so good to talk to people and say, what app are you using that really works? I'm excited to try the offer pop because I like the tug of war concept. We have a client, a hotel that's going through a whole remodel, and we're going to do a thing where we have the fans help pick the flatware or help pick the uniform for the restaurant. Which one do you like better? So that would be a real fun one to engage people around that.
You should do one with Pinterest too, Gina. We're doing one now. Pinterest just announced Pinterest business pages.
Right.
And
Rick loves Pinterest.
You may mock me, but I actually have a Pinterest business page now.
I know, he has a board with
I don't think I posted anything, but we have one.
Well, good.
Gina finally convinced me, and we had a big fight. That's why she has a black and white. This big fight about
Yeah, this is the Pinterest black and white.
Oh, gosh. But, it's really great because you can do some, a real simple contest where you have people go find the various products that they like that you have, put it on, create a board, reference that. So, there's some really cool things that you can do with Pinterest, I think. And we're doing one right now. It's too soon to see are we going to be as successful as we hope, but we're going to give it a shot.
Is do you have the numbers as far as people being there yet? I think I'm always on Pinterest, so I assume everyone's always on Pinterest, but when you look at the numbers, do you find that limits, do people say, oh, I'm not on Pinterest, I don't understand it yet, or I don't know, so it's a kind of a hindrance to play?
Again, I think for the market of the clients that I have, pretty much everybody's on it. In the photography, in the photography world, believe it or not, there's more female photographers than there are male photographers.
Oh, there really?
Oh yeah, about 60%.
That's interesting. That I didn't know.
Yep. Yeah, well, there's a lot of these mamarazzis,
Mamarazzis.
Yeah. So
that's when you think of all the people who do kid photos.
Exactly. So, photographers, are huge on this. And then obviously with skincare and decorating, that's right up the alley. So, we're giving it a shot with a skincare company right now. And we're going to see
I love the thing of integrating, whether it's Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, integrating the contest to get people to kind of connect with you on different levels, and the fact that now you have these accounts for Instagram, you can have a corporate pay or your page on the website, and now this just rolled out where you can now put the Instagram logo, the little badge on your website, so people can tag. And we've been playing with that with clients to just see, okay, how many people are tagging us in photos, and how do we then get them to tag, like you're saying, specific things that maybe you can tie into a contest to get them engaged there. But I think this is the time of year, especially during the holidays, going, how do you really capitalize on these types of contests and tools you can use to and not spend a ton of money. I mean, contests can be very expensive, and you have to make sure you read all the rules as you're setting them up, because
And that's another thing, Gina. A lot of people do not follow the rules. I mean, I'm sure Facebook police is, not out there as much as they say they're going to be, but there are a lot of people that still today believe that they can just tell people, run a contest on Facebook. In fact, this one, we talked about it. I actually fired a client about a month ago because I just, there are certain things they wanted us to do, and I just said, look, this is against policy. We cannot do it. They wanted us to create a fake account. to create this fictitious character. I said, no, we cannot do that. They wanted us to, just have people post on Facebook and guess certain things, and they'd randomly pick a winner. And I'm like, you can't do that. There are rules. You have to use a third-party application. And so there's a lot of people that still don't really understand that there are rules that you have to follow.
Now, both of you are social media experts. Do you feel yet that we've reached any kind of saturation point?
Well,
because there's so many different social media venues. How do you get how do you get to everybody? Facebook may be, I guess, a common denominator, but there's just a lot of people out there.
I think people are feeling that with Facebook, especially if you're a community manager, you're involved with managing accounts for clients, because things keep changing. I would think the average person doesn't notice the changes like we notice the changes, because we go crazy over every little, now the algorithm has changed and edge rank this. And I don't think the average person, they get upset if the picture size, or there's 2 columns versus 1 column and so forth. But I think people are just saturated with, there's so many places to check messages, between our cell phones and email and Facebook messages and Twitter and Google. And, if you use several, I think that's where we feel the overwhelm. It's just, it's never ending. Right. And I noticed that even with my daughter. She's 16, and she checks Twitter, she checks Facebook. She doesn't really check email unless it's something official, the school sends email out, but she kind of knows that's more school work focused. But I look at that and go, what will that do to us? We have so many places to check. That's where I think something has to happen to pull together, where you just check one place.
One big aggregator, right?
Yeah, and I would think something like Hootsuite, but I check so many places for messages.
Yeah, see, I think Hootsuite is not for the general public, though.
No, it's not.
You get in there, and the first thing you do is go, what do I do?
Yeah, there's so many tabs, and it is more of an enterprise tool. And I always say it's really a tool if you have a team of people managing social media. It has features that others don't offer as far as what a team can do, and I can see if a team member has already replied to someone. That's helpful to me. I know I don't have to answer this question that came in for an account. If I happen to look at Hootsuite at 10 o'clock at night and I see a question by someone on one of our client pages, I see, it's, Amanda has already answered it, or Kathy has already answered it. So I don't have to worry about that. So I love those features, but I still don't think it does enough for pulling all communication together.
I totally agree, and that's why I'm excited to learn about this Rebel Mouse to see if that's the answer, because it's just overwhelming, and it's overwhelming to the client, Right. And what I've found is that, Pinterest and Facebook might be the right tools for this one client, whereas Twitter and Google Plus, might be the right answer for this other client. And it's just overwhelming these days. It's absolutely, if it's overwhelming to people like us, I can't even imagine how anybody would just enter into it. I mean, I have a challenge when I teach. In fact, I'm going to be teaching at CES again this year for the photographic group, and it's like so hard because when you have a group of people in your audience, you're like, what's the level that I'm talking to? So you either have people that are so beginners, or you have the people that are so advanced. It's like, how do you navigate through and give everybody what they want? And so
Georgia, what is your favorite social media platform?
Pinterest.
Pinterest, really? Wow, didn't expect that one.
Because it's just like this wonderful world of pictures.
Here's why, Rick. It's like, it's just very inspirational. It's like, if I'm looking to get an idea, first of all, I look to what my friends have to say. But I had a wedding this year. My son, or my sort of son, adopted son, when I was getting married. And I got the greatest ideas. Then with a baby shower, I found out how to make a watermelon little thing that looked like a bassinet with a muskmelon with a pacifier. Now, how the hell would I have ever Googled something like that, right? You know, so I get all these great ideas. It's very visual. It's very inspirational. And I just love it. And the fact that you can now, and it's really great for, you know, people that actually sell products, you know, you just put a little dollar sign next to what you're, you know, pinning, and you can have that where people can sell it.
Oh, interesting.
And then, yeah, I mean, I just absolutely love Pinterest. I think Facebook I've gotten very disappointed in, particularly with what's happened with, you know, the EdgeRank formula. I mean, I've been ripping my hair out. Gina, I don't know if you've done the same with your clients, but, you know, all of a sudden seeing this trend that happened a couple of months ago where our posts weren't getting seen and, you know, trying everything possible. And
you do everything except the only thing now is to pay to promote a post.
Now, do you think Google Plus is even a player? I'm having my doubts. I like Google Plus because it's simple, but I really don't see, any interaction. Nobody really communicates on it. So people post on it, but the same post you can find in 4 other places.
I think that is so dependent on the type of person you are. Like, I have one client, he's an author. It's a fictional, he wrote a fictional book. It's called The Founder's Plot. And it's, you know, it has a lot of political discussions in it. Google Plus is perfect for him. Yeah. Facebook, forget it. Twitter, great to reach out to journalists or people that are going to review his book. Google Plus is excellent.
Interesting. Okay.
You know, I love Hangouts. I do like that feature. There's a lot of people that are on that are in the press. In fact, there's a woman by the name of Sarah Hill. She's a TV reporter. And I've actually been on her show twice where every single night at 5 o'clock news, she has a hangout. And she'll just have people talk about different topics. So I really think it depends on, you know, what it is.
So what people are doing and how they do it. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, you're an industry. Because some of them, more of the consumer, you know, business to consumer, Facebook is still going to be where you need to be. And I don't think the average consumer is yet at you know, on Google Plus, but when you have, you know, whether it's a more technical client, the political clients, or we're using Google Plus and LinkedIn more for clients that really are targeting more business to business, and so we just spend a little bit of time on Facebook, but most of the time is LinkedIn in the, you know, spending time answering those questions that people post and subscribing to the questions and answering those, and Google Plus. And so, but I think it takes more time, but then I look back and go, it took time in Facebook as well. You have to invest the time to spend to build the relationships, to find the right people.
Well, Gina, guess what that music means?
Is it already time?
It's 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
It just went really quickly. I just looked and went, we're about done. You know, George, you're just going to have to come back again.
I would love to. Slightly on pain meds, so to me, time is just a blur. My shoulder, I still have to take pain meds for my face and shoulder, so time just flew.
You know what? With your glasses, you can't see it as much.
I know.
It actually helps.
Yeah. I was very strategic placing these. Georgia, this was amazing. I love it. I love all the contest apps that you shared. These are always fun to try out. And yeah, check out mention.com and
Close,
CLOZE. Actually, it's close.com, CLOZE. Mention was the weird one of en.mention.net. I ended up just Googling Mention.
You check out Rafflecopter, Gina. And also think about Pinterest for that hotel.
Yeah, that's really a great idea. And Dawn, in the chat room, Rick, Dawn said that she started a Pinterest board for eLearn Chat.
Oh, interesting.
So another reason for you to spend some time on Pinterest.
We're going to have to put pictures up there.
Cool. We're going to get Rick. Rick's going to become a Pinterest addict soon.
Well, you know, it's funny. It's funny. I know some guys.
Should we let Rick join in our whine no more thing that we're going to do?
Oh, yeah. He's good at the whining part about Pinterest.
I'm not whiny.
Gina and I are talking about doing a women's online cocktail hour. We're going to call it Wine No More.
Wine No More.
And it's just, but maybe we'll let you in on it now that you're a Pinterest guy.
Now that you're a Pinterest guy.
I can wear my blonde wig.
No, I'm still in therapy. Rick, I'm still in therapy with that.
All right, well, thanks, guys. This was fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And for all you guys in the chat room, thanks for being there live. And if you're watching the recording, please subscribe. This show was sponsored by Synapse Connecting. That's www.synapse, like your brain connecting.com, and relate.com. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao.
Oh, I think George already hung up. Maybe I hung up.